Hey guys, it's Jenny on the block, and I am here today talking to Dr. Justin Dunn from Summa Health. Dr. Dunn, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm excited today because I know February is a lot about heart health, but we are talking about American Heart Association's Life Essential 8. And so, can you explain what Essential 8 means?
Sure. Uh, the Essential Eight is kind of a roadmap for how to optimize your cardiovascular health and your overall health, and try to, keep your first heart attack or stroke away, or if you've had a heart attack or stroke, try to prevent another one. So, a lot of these are going to be common sense, but I think that we all kind of generally have a vague idea of what a healthy lifestyle is. But I think it's good to have specific bullet points to say, okay, I need to make sure I'm hitting these as well as I can. So the essential eight is a lot of things to remember, but we kind of break it down 4 and 4. So we have 4 different behaviors that we discuss and 4 different factors that we discuss, health factors. So just starting with behaviors, one is being active, exercise, being mobile, not living a sedentary lifestyle. Number 2 is eating healthy, and trying to have a diet that's consistent with cardiovascular health. Number 3, avoid tobacco products. I know that sounds kind of simple, and we kind of all have learned over the past 50 years that smoking is bad for you. But it is still the number one modifiable risk factor that leads to cardiovascular health. And so smoking cigarettes, we don't encourage e-cigarettes. We don't encourage vaping. These all kind of have negative cardiovascular effects, at least as far as we know now.
Yeah.
Smoking cigarettes for sure.
Mhm.
So quitting tobacco will be a major thing you could do for your health moving forward. And then getting healthy sleep. So 7 to 9 hours a night, putting that iPad or phone away an hour before bed so you can kind of wind down for bedtime. So those are the kind of the 4 behaviors: healthy eating, exercise, no tobacco, and healthy sleep. So then you have 4 health factors where this is more interaction with your physician, talking about knowing your numbers. So you talk about your blood pressure. You must know what your blood pressure is, what your blood pressure goal is with your specific risk factors. Know what your cholesterol levels are. So you know if you have very high cholesterol levels because you don't feel those. You don't notice that they're a problem until they cause a problem down the road, so sometimes several decades later. So know those numbers up front and know if you need to get treated. Know what your blood sugar is and know how to manage that, especially if you have diabetes. Getting that blood sugar under control is essential. And then lastly, managing your weight, having a healthy weight. And these all kind of tie together with healthy eating and healthy activity and lifestyles. But those 8 things, if you really focus on those 8 things and kind of optimize those risk factors, then you can kind of ensure yourself having your best cardiovascular outcome possible.
Got it. Well, and I'm glad you mentioned when going back to the tobacco thing, you mentioned e-cigarettes and vaping and things because I do know, I think we all as a community or a society know that cigarettes are bad, and I know actually a lot of young people have said I would never smoke a cigarette, but they are into this vaping, and I know it can cause health effects even as much as those cigarettes are causing.
Yes, absolutely. And there are a lot of effects that we might not know about yet. Some of these are relatively new technologies.
Yep.
The way they're used are a little bit unclear, but we have definitely seen adverse events associated with with the e-cigarettes and the vaping. So we
Yeah.
certainly encourage everybody to quit those as well.
Yes. All right. So 8 is a lot. We've already agreed on that. And I like that you broke it out into 4 and 4 because that does make it more digestible. But if you had to pick the top 3 things that are the most important, can you tell us what your top 3 is and
Sure.
why?
Yeah, I'll tell you. I mean, all these are important, and it's critical that you just have a good primary care doctor or a cardiologist that follows you and helps you guide you through this process, because it is a lot for people to keep track of and remember. And everybody has busy lifestyles, and everybody has different ways they were brought up. Different diets that they grew up with that might not be consistent with a healthy diet. So work with your physician, work with your primary care doctors and your cardiologist to help guide you through the process. But if I were to pick 3 that people should really focus on, number 1, if you smoke cigarettes, that is probably the best thing you can do for your health moving forward, is to stop smoking cigarettes. It's very difficult. Smoking is very addictive. This is
Mhm.
why so many people get stuck in this situation. But smoking cigarettes over time has multiple adverse effects on your health. So I'd say that's number one. And then the next two would be activity, exercise, and diet. I mean, again, these all sound kind of common sense, but I think people find that it's easy to say, look, I'm not going to exercise today. I kind of walk around at work a little bit. It is critical that you have some kind of mobility at least several times a week.
Mhm.
The AHA recommends about 2.5 hours of moderate exercise every week. So 30 minutes most days of the week, and or 75 minutes of pretty intense exercise. If you run hard or do sprints, any kind of exercise like that. This also includes things like light or intermediate weightlifting. Building up some lean muscle that helps burn calories, that helps maintain cardiovascular fitness. And if you exercise with weights the right way, you can also have cardiovascular benefits as far as increasing your heart rate. Like you would be if you were jogging or swimming. So, if people say I don't have time or I can't exercise during the day because I get sweaty at work, just do something light. Go for a walk around the property. That's great. Do some push-ups in your office. Do some push-ups and sit-ups in your office. Things like this that you can do for just 5, 10, 15 minutes a day. If you can get to that 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, that is critically important to your health.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third one would be eating right. I think people underestimate how important diet is. You don't have to starve yourself. Just eat the right things: fresh fruits and vegetables, lean meats, whole grains. Try to avoid sugars. Most desserts, while they are fantastic and you want to have them as a treat once in a while, they really, having refined sugars in your diet really hurts your cardiovascular health, and it puts on weight. It makes you feel unwell, etc. So focusing on diet and then keeping calories down. I think you'll find that if you're having trouble with weight, what I tell my patients is, if you can cut out 500 calories a day, which is probably your dessert right there, 500 calories a day, you cut that out and you'll lose a pound a week. So over the course of a year, you can lose 50 pounds just by doing that.
Yeah.
So you add in exercise, you add in proper nutrition as far as fruits and vegetables, which are low calorie, but still fill you up. You can really have, in the short term, you can have significant effects on your cardiovascular health moving forward.
Yeah, I totally agree. Interesting thing that someone pointed out to me is beverages. There's a lot of beverages that have a lot of sugar and they're not filling you up. They're just, like the pops and some of these juices and things like that have like the sugar in them. You can cut a lot of calories that way too, because,
Absolutely.
I
I mean, you think about what people get at Starbucks, and Starbucks has and these coffee shops have some fantastic drinks,
yeah,
which again can be treats once in a while. But if you have a 600-calorie drink every day, because that's cream and syrup and sugar in it, that can really add up over time, and it can sneak up on you because you think, oh, I'm having salads for lunch and I'm trying to live a healthy lifestyle. I go for walks, but boy, you pound yourself with 600, 700 calories of sugar every day in your coffee, and that's where it comes from.
yeah,
So all these things add up, and I think it's important to work with your doctor, or just really focus on what you're eating and really count those calories throughout the day and say, man, I'm really getting a lot further than I thought I was. And I think you'll find that you cut a few of those things out, and the weight will just start to come off.
Awesome. Well, I found this to be very helpful, and I just wanted to make sure everyone noticed that I was wearing my heart-themed sweater today for you guys, for American Heart Associations. And wanted to let you guys know, if you want more information, you can go to summahealth.org/heart, or you can call 877-200-0209. And I want to thank Dr. Dunn for being here today and talking to us about Life's Essential 8. So thank you so much for being here, Doctor.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.